hotter inside, even hotter outside. But nonetheless, the wait is now over. The 2024-25 UIL high school football season has begun, and what a better place to get things going than Choctaw Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for this presentation of Seguin Cougars football on the Antler Sports Network. Jared Jones here with Zach Abercrombie, our executive producer and statistician for tonight. We'll hear from him at halftime and throughout tonight's game. It's senior night here in Arlington, Texas, as the Seguin Cougars host the North Mesquite Stallions to get the season started. First time either of these teams have matched up against one another. It's the battle between the second oldest school in Mesquite ISD, that being the North Mesquite Stallions, and the youngest school in the Arlington Independent School District, that being Seguin. Taking a look at both teams before we get started. Seguin, as we mentioned, the younger school, quote unquote, opened not too long ago in August of 2002, although North Mesquite has the district age advantage. Mesquite ISD founding in 1901, Arlington not too far behind in 1903. The Seguin Cougars, led by head coach Joe Gordon, coming into this season after a solid 2023, got to 500, but somehow didn't get into the postseason. That's just how tough this district can be. And where they stand now after this year's realignment in 5A Division II Region 1 District 3, not that much of an easier time. They have the Argyle Eagles, the Burleson Elks, the Colleyville Heritage Panthers, the Everman Bulldogs, Grapevine Mustangs, the Summit and Timberview schools out of Mansfield ISD respectively, as well as the Cougars of the Colony. So fair to say, no easy weeks. On the other side, for the North Mesquite Stallions, their realignment has placed them in 5A Division I Region 2 District 6, full of either Dallas ISD teams or Carrollton Farmers Branch ISD teams. They have the Dallas Adams Cougars, the Carrollton Creekview Mustangs, Dallas Molina Jags, the Newman Smith Trojans out of Carrollton, of course the North Mesquite Stallions, the Dallas Sunset Bison, Carrollton Turner Lions, fellow Mesquite ISD team and the West Mesquite Wranglers, and the Dallas WT White Longhorns. So both teams coming into this game, of course, with clean slates. Speaking of clean slates for the North Mesquite Stallions, we'll hear from head coach Tim Cedar after this. This is the pregame. It's the Stallions and the Cougars coming up from the ASN family of platforms. This is Seguin Cougars football on the Antler Sports Network.
Find your support system. At Texas Wesleyan, you'll get the one-on-one attention you need to succeed. Texas Wesleyan, small classes, big scholarships. Now that's smaller, smarter.
As we continue to count down to pregame here on senior night, Choctaw Stadium here on the Antler Sports Network. Jared Jones here with you on a very, very hot Thursday early evening. Now it's time for our game preview. 3 words that fans, coaches, and athletes have been waiting for months to hear can finally be uttered tonight. Football is back. And a smaller selection of guys who know this feeling more than the 2 head coaches in tonight's clash. Seguin head coach Joe Gordon and Mesquite head coach Tim Cedar, both former NFL players, take their teams into tonight's games with a clean slate of a new season. But both vary on the sides of the spectrum that they sit on. The Cougars of Seguin last season faced a gauntlet of a schedule in one of the toughest districts in 5A Division I during the 2023 season. 5A Division II District 5 had 5 of their 8 teams with plus 500 records in district play. Seguin was one of those teams, finishing 6-4 overall and 4-3 in district play. Yep, still missed the postseason with the Everman Bulldogs getting that Covenant 4 spot. Now in 2024, the climb to the top is even tougher, with Argyle, Mansfield, Timberview, Colleyville, Heritage, and the Mustangs of Grapevine being added to the mix thanks to this season's realignment. The pride of Southeast Arlington walks into Choctaw Stadium knowing that their trip to the postseason is going to require a much smaller margin of error than ever. Their opponents for tonight, Tim Cedar's North Mesquite Stallions, a team that finished last season 1-9 overall in a winless district slate. But this season provides a new outlook on the year. In 5A Division I District 6, the Stallions face off a packed district of Carrollton and Dallas ISD schools and are still looking to bring Coach Cedar and company that illustrious first playoff berth. A berth that would cement the greatest turnaround in program history. It's fair to say the Stallions have a better chance than ever, with them now leaving their own gauntlet comprised of South Dallas and East Texas teams. This is the first time taking on the Seguin Cougars, and the very first time taking on an Arlington ISD school at least since 2004. That's simply the beauty a new season delivers. Many unanswered questions, plenty of room for history, and clean slates. That's our game preview. And now let's go to the talk that I had pregame with North Mesquite head coach Tim Cedar. Coach, the wait is over. All the practicing, all the scrimmaging, staying up late watching film, reflecting on last season, it all comes to a head tonight. The start of the 2024-25 season. Have you been anxious? Has there been any tension just waiting for this day to come?
Oh, of course we're anxious and we're ready to go. It's been a long off season, a young crop of new kids. To see what we are and who we can be here this season is finally here. You know, you think you got so long before it gets here, then all of a sudden it's here in an instant. But we're ready and we're anxious to get out there and see what we can do.
How has this summer been? Of course, the heat hasn't been the only trouble you've had to go through. So what's it taken to get to this point?
Well, I think it's just a group of guys that are willing to commit, you know, willing to work together, build a brotherhood, and fight every day. You know, you're trying to find wins every day. Is how we talk about it. It's not just a scoreboard, but you find wins every day. And I think if you stack those up daily, the results will be good for you.
This is the first time we've had your North Mesquite Stallions here on the Antler Sports Network. Of course, happy to have you, happy to showcase your team and your program. Tell us about yourself, your culture, and any other fun factoid you want to throw in there.
Well, this is my 7th season at North Mesquite. I've been in Mesquite ISD for 18 years. Grew up in Ohio. Came down here when I played with the Cowboys. That's how I first got down here. We love Texas, so we came back. And Mesquite ISD is a great place to work, great place to coach. We got great people, great kids, and couldn't be happier with the group we have this year. Again, like I said, it's a young group. They're building really a brotherhood that we're fostering, and just hoping it continues to grow. And we're hoping to see that out there in the field tonight.
Who are some of those young stars that we need to look out for tonight?
Sure. Well, we got our two slots offensively are juniors, Juju Simpson and Ivan Escalante. We'll be rotating a couple quarterbacks. One's a young sophomore. So that's what we have really offensively. The offensive line is relatively new as well. On the defensive side of the ball, we've got a whole bunch of them that are new. Now the senior leadership up front is at nose, Kalen Green. So we'll be excited to see what he does tonight. And his brother plays right behind him. He's a sophomore linebacker, so we'll see if he can protect his brother and let him run and make some plays. So we'll be excited to see him get out there and run to the ball.
Love to see that chemistry that's on the field, not just from time practicing together, but just every day in the home. Now, what have you seen from the Cougars on film? Of course, that's the end-all, be-all. What are you expecting from the Cougar offense and the Cougars defense?
Well, I think, first of all, you look at their personnel, and they've got some really good personnel. They got good size. They got good speed. And I think Coach Gordon does a great job just being sound offensively and defensively. So we know they'll be ready to go. We know they'll be flying around. It's going to be up to us. We're more of an option team offensively. They're going to play sound fundamental football, but we got to try and make our adjustments and see what our guys can do up front. And then defensively, they're going to flip it around and see if we can play in space a little bit.
I'm glad you brought up your NFL pedigree because, ironically enough, your head coaching opponent, Coach Joe Gordon, he's playing in the NFL too. Does that add a little bit of a rivalry in there at any point, or is it just clean old-fashioned fun between two coaches?
Oh, I think the worthy opponent is one of the best things. And Coach Gordon and I talked quite a bit last year in off-season and talked some ball. And I just love what he's about. I love what he does. And it's a privilege to be able to go up against him because not only is he a great ball coach, but he's a great guy. So I enjoy playing people like that.
Now, finally, to finish things off, Coach, we have a tradition here on the Antler Sports Network with coaches that we speak to for the first time. What is your go-to pregame or postgame meal?
I don't know if I have one. We try and mix it up for our kids. So I eat whatever the kids have, whatever we order the kids. Tonight, we had baked potatoes from Dickey's Barbecue.
Can't go wrong with barbecue before a game.
Yeah. Well, we didn't have all the fixings, but hopefully we got enough juice to last us throughout the game.
Well, Coach, looking forward to having your Stallions on. Any closing thoughts?
Nope, just excited to be here. Appreciate y'all broadcasting and being a part of that, and I hope to see a great ball game tonight.
Likewise. Best of luck, Coach.
All right, thank you.
We'll finish the pregame after these messages.
Find your support system. At Texas Wesleyan, you'll get the one-on-one attention you need to succeed. Texas Wesleyan, small classes, big scholarships. Now that's smaller, smarter.
Moments away from kickoff here at Choctaw Stadium. Happy to once again have you with us. North Mesquite won the toss, look to defer in the second half, so that means Seguin will take over on offense first. Back deep to receive, and we'll get to starters in a moment. Jimani Smith, as well as Malachi Mesh to get things going. Seguin back to return in their all-black home uniforms. North Mesquite in their visiting white uniforms. With it is Mesh. Mesh takes it to the outside, crossing the 25, spun, still up, and eventually gets brought down at about the 25-yard line. While we have this moment, let's go ahead and introduce that Arlington Seguin offense. Starting at quarterback is going to be Chevy Andrews. Let it Bly, Isaac Bly, starting at the running back spot. Carterius Brown, Deshaun Marble, Malachi Mesh, and Jonathan Polk at the receiver spots. Offensive line is Jaden Robinson, Jalzel Quezada, Ramon Villarreal, Justice Wright, and Chris Edwards, rounding out that Seguin offensive front. And we'll get to the North Mesquite defense in a moment. Andrews coming out, signal caller for this Seguin offense. The junior looking to lead this Seguin team and Coach Joe Gordon and the rest of its fantastic Seguin coaching staff to where they want to be. He's now looking at 1st and 10. Whistle blows and we are set to go. First play from scrimmage of this 2024 season. 1st down and 10, 3 down linemen on the defensive front for North Mesquite. It's going to be a handoff, spun and eventually brought down after a very minimal gain. Don't even think they'll give him a yard, or maybe not. Not 100% sure. As that's Mesh on the run. Multiple Stallions on the tackle. First to get there was Kalen Green, number 76, the defensive lineman. Speaking of this defense, let's go ahead and introduce this North Mesquite defense as Andrews surveys it. It's going to be Elijah Fontenot, Kalen Green, Samuel Solorazo at the defensive line, Reggie Smith-Jackson, Cameron Green, Caleb Fields, and Christopher Salas, the linebackers, who will finish it after this play. Is going to be a handoff, drop play right up the middle of the mesh. He's got open space at the 50, crossing midfield, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15. No one's going to catch him. 10-5, goal line. Touchdown, Seguin. That's one way to get the season going. How about that? Was pretty much untouched as Seguin hits the board first. We barely played 2 minutes of football, and the Cougars are on the board. Zach Abercrombie, our statistician, a pretty easy job, not a long drive there, as the Cougars attempt the PAT. Wow. Mesh had one open gap along the A-gap along that left side. Great job by the offensive line to give their back space. Field goal is bobbled. It's going to be Polk who's going to try to run it. Gets to the outside, has a block, breaks from a tackle, and what was almost a box field goal turns into a 2-point conversion. Seguin up 2-0. How about that? Seguin gets on the board 8-0. North Mesquite a chance to respond. Back after this timeout in 1 minute. Seguin up 8-0 on the Antler Sports Network. So much for introducing starting lineups for the North Mesquite defense. As the Seguin Cougars didn't give them much time now. Clock back up and going 8-0. 10:55 left to go in quarter number 1. And on the return for North Mesquite, it's going to be Ivan Escalante. 1st down and 10 for the North Mesquite offense, who is looking to now respond to that quick stride from Seguin. Taking a look at the starting lineups here, at least try to. If history is any indication, I won't have very long to introduce our starting lineup, so let's do so while we can. North Mesquite, this offense is led by Joshon Kluwis, the quarterback, donning the number 2, Julian Simpson, the running back, Keon Burke, and Ivan Escalante at the tailbacks. Madden Solorazo, as a flag is thrown, it's going to be a handoff right up the middle, not very far, might have gotten to the line of scrimmage, barring the result of this play. Handoff was given to Jacoby Perkins, as we now go down to check on the flag. Onside penalty is going to be called against Seguin. So that'll make this begin the opening drive just a tad bit more simple for the Stallions. Penalty is going to bring up first down and 5. Ball currently sitting on the North Mesquite 27. Robert Rodriguez, the other wide receiver, and we'll get to the offensive line in a moment. It's going to be a pitch. Option flag is thrown once again, breaking off to the outside, looking to get the first down. I believe he got it, that being on the carry. North Mesquite's number 4, Julian Simpson. As I mentioned earlier, another flag is thrown. Was it offside yet again? Not 100% sure as we go down. Yes, it is offsides once again against the Cougars. That penalty is declined, and it will move the chains. First down once again. So back-to-back offsides penalties against the Seguin Cougars. So far, the main story as the clock rolls. 10 minutes, 27 seconds, and rolling in this first quarter of play. Seguin with a big-time run and a botched field goal that turned into a successful 2-point conversion. As now it's going to be a handoff, and immediately stopped. But yet again, another flag. Handoff was to Joshon Kluwis. On the initial tackle was Kimarian Miki. False start penalty is going to be called against North Mesquite. So now that'll push back the Stallions just a tad bit more and make it first down and long. North Mesquite, as we mentioned earlier, coming into this game, looking to bounce back from a winless district season. Seguin looking to bounce back from being a game, or in some cases maybe even a couple snaps away from making the postseason. As we mentioned, one of 5 out of the 8 teams in their district last year to have a 500 record. Throw to the outside is complete into the flat. Reception caught by Escalante again. Looks like they might have been able to get him to the original line of scrimmage. Either way, it will be second down and long. No, they're going to give an extra 2 yards to that, so make it second down and 8. Ball is going to be placed right at the North Mesquite 40-yard line. Interesting fact about the North Mesquite Stallions. It's the alma mater of the ex-wife of Mick Jagger, Jerry Hall. How's that for your trivia question of the day? Pitch to the outside is hauled in by Escalante, and Escalante is trot well behind the line of scrimmage. On the tackle is Hodge and a host of Cougars. A big-time loss. That seems to be once again player down on slow to get up on the other side of the line of scrimmage, but he seems to be okay. That'll make it third down and maybe I-30 to go for North Mesquite. Official ruling is going to make it third down and about 12 to go. And it looks like we do have a Mesquite, that is it's a Seguin player down. And as he gets ready to, we'll give our sponsor a chance at a message. Back in 1 minute on the Antler Sports Network. break gets cut short. There was a Seguin player down, but he seems to be up and back ready to go, and we are ready to go as well for this all-important 3rd down and 13. 2 offsides penalties by the Cougars, and they send the blitz. Rolling out and running for his life is Lewis. Lewis along the right side at the 30, still gets brought down in Alligator Row. That's going to be a loss of around 5, and 4th down in a country mile. It was a host of Cougars there on the tackle, but I'm going to give the initial credit to LaCorian Hodge, donning that number 3 of the linebacker. Speaking to the rest of this Seguin coaching staff all season long, one thing was apparent. Hodge was going to be arguably the straw that stirred the drink for this Seguin defense, and you seeing it there. Immediate pressure, and now punting time for North Mesquite. Malachi Mesh, the senior, back deep to receive. Punting for North Mesquite is going to be Escalante, the 6'1", 170-pound junior. Side-winding kick. And we caught by Mesh at around the 35. Cuts out, spins, back to the left side on the numbers at the 40. Still up, breaking one more hit, and it gets to the 45-yard line. And that's a great way to start when it comes to field position once again. Remember, the last time Seguin had the football, didn't take very long, about 2 or 3 plays from scrimmage to get into the end zone. Now they're looking at 1st and 10. Ball's going to be placed at their own 45-yard line. When it comes to field position, couldn't beat that with a stick, ladies and gentlemen. 8:22 left to go in quarter, numeral uno from Choctaw Stadium. Temperature at about kickoff, at least from the National Weather Service, at about 91 degrees. But if you ask me and anyone else with working nerves, I'm not too sure about that. Play clock sitting at 15. Andrews has it back to his left. 5 seconds on the play clock. Got to get a snap off and quickly here. 2 seconds, 1 second, and that is going to be a flag thrown. Looks like it might be possibly false start. Either it was going to be a false start or delay a game as we get the call. It is indeed a false start penalty called against Seguin. 3rd penalty on the Cougars as a ball club. North Mesquite with 1. Both teams sitting at 1 false start penalty apiece. Clock still sitting at 8:22 left to go. Ball on the 41-yard line. That penalty is going to bring up 1st and 15. So very similar to how North Mesquite had their opening drive. Coach Joe Gordon and the Arlington Seguin Cougars are hoping to have a different result. Andrews barking orders at the line of scrimmage. Puts a man in motion. That's Smith in motion at the top of your screen. It's going to be a handoff to Mesh. Mesh gets knocked down after a gain of about maybe 2, and not much more than that. 2nd down and about 13 yards to go for Arlington Seguin. After this, I have a host of games on the Antler Sports Network, but next, a date with one of the best and most surging teams in the entire state of Texas. A trip on the road next Friday against the Red Oak Hawks. It was initially going to be a Thursday game, but a couple of days back, date moved to Friday, most likely due to the heat. Fair to say, I can't too much blame them. Ball on the 43-yard line, clock rolling. Knocking on the door, 7.5 minutes here. Andrews in the gun, 2 receivers to his right, and a flag is thrown once more. And it is once again going to be a false start penalty. You have to think, if you're the Seguin coaching staff here, you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot, but if you are going to, at least do it early on. You're sitting on an 8-0 lead. 2nd down and 18 is going to be the official spot with 7:32 left to go on the first. And, of course, one thing to note, probably the most important thing, is the first game of the season. Get all your first game jitters out. If you're going to make mistakes, make them now. Seguin led by Chevy Andrews, the quarterback, breaks his huddle from around the 32-yard line. Play clock sitting at 8. Game clock at 7:10 left to go in the first quarter of play. Andrews in the gun. Mesh to his right. 3 receivers total. 1 at the top of your screen at his lonesome. And a flag is thrown. And it's going to be a delay of game penalty. So 3 penalties on this drive for Seguin. Not the most, I guess you can say, picturesque start for the Cougars to start this season. But one thing to note, they do have the 8-0 advantage. But another thing to note on the flip side of the coin, they're looking down the barrel of a 2nd and 23. Andrews takes the shotgun snap, quick bubble to the outside, and it's going to be dropped down, incomplete, and I'll make it 3rd down in a country mile. Third and 23. Clock now frozen at 6:49 left to go in this first quarter of play. Here at Choctaw Stadium, a stadium that opened back in April of 1994, maximum capacity of 48,114. Costed $191 million to build. And funnily enough, the Disney film The Rookie was partially filmed here. A little bit of stadium trivia for you. 9 seconds on the play clock. 6:49 left to go in this first quarter. Seguin looking at 3rd down in a country mile. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. Got to get the snap off, and they won't. Delay of game penalty once again. That's the 2nd on this drive. Or do they call a timeout? I believe they did. And yes, timeout's going to be called by Seguin. That's their first timeout of this half, and we'll take it with them. First game jitters, trying to get them out of the way. And as they take that timeout, we'll take it with them. Back after this, 8-0. Seguin ahead on the Antler Sports Network. After the Seguin timeout, try to talk things over, Coach Joe Gordon and company looking to get all their woes out of the way now. 8-0 our score, 6:49 left in the first period here at Choctaw Stadium. Current down in distance, 3rd down and 23. Mesquite sending the heat. Andrews rolls out, throws. It's a 1-knee grab, caught by Bly. Bly gets to around the 40. Gets a couple of extra gets a couple of extra yards out of that, but awkward territory here for Arlington Seguin. Looks like it may be punting time for the Cougars, but no, Andrews is back on the field. It's going to be a gain of 10 by Bly. Let it Bly, as we like to say. Don't know if we could possibly be seeing a pooch kick, but it looks like Isaac Bly is back onto the field as the running back as Andrews gets the play call from the sideline. 10 seconds left, clock rolling, 6 minutes, 5 seconds left to go. Shotgun snap taken by Andrews. Andrews pressure. We know he likes to get out and run. He's at the 45, crossing midfield. Has the first down and looking for some extra change. Gets a lead block at the 25, 20. Dives head first, gets the first down and more. Seguin moving the change. Wow. We've seen him, if you followed Seguin, at least to the extent that we have, and watched the spring game, we know that Andrews is not afraid to extend plays with his legs, and that's exhibit, I've lost count. First down, 5:45 left to go. Ball sitting on the 21-yard line. Andrews now. Clap of the hands, shotgun snap, handoff to Bly. Bly cuts across, breaks one tackle, has a block at the 10-5, untouched, touchdown Seguin. Let it Bly, let it Bly. Isaac Bly, 21-yard touchdown run, increases the lead to 14, barring the PAT. Seguin gets on the board once more, that ground attack potent as ever. With 5:26 left to go as we await the PAT. Don't know if we'll see a intended fake PAT or not from Seguin. Sure won't surprise me. Coach Joe Gordon and a neat bag of tricks as Oscar Lopez looks to try to boot this thing. It's clean snap, clean hole. Kick is up and good. Knocking down the field goal. And now our score with 5:26 left to go in quarter number 1. Seguin strikes again, up 15-0. Seguin football on the Antler Sports Network continues after this timeout. No, the old saying goes, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. As Seguin, with 4 penalties in 1 drive, ends up getting points on the board. With 5:26 left to go, they're currently up on the North Mesquite Stallions, 15-0. As we see head coach Joe Gordon there on the sideline, speaking to his ball club. The North Mesquite band, a little bit of a jig on the to our left of us here in the broadcast booth at Choctaw Stadium. Now first down and 10. North Mesquite looking to get on the board. After the touchback, they'll take over on the 25-yard line. After this game, it's an all-Mesquite matchup against the Mesquite Skeeters next week on the 6th. It's going to be a keeper breaking off to the outside. That's Palacios. Palacios gets brought down. Host of Cougars on the tackle, led by, guess who? LaCorian Hodge does it again. That's a name that we will most likely be saying a lot, but the Cougars end up getting 2 on the carry, making it 2nd down and 6. Well, 2nd down and 8, excuse me. North Mesquite in the slick white tops, blue bottoms. The North Mesquite alternate logo in black and white across the helmets. Seguin with the Carolina blue Clemson paw-esque logo on the one side of the helmet. The player's respective number on the other side. He's back in at quarterback. It's Bryson Palacios at 5'9", 175 pounds. And that run pretty much almost got nowhere, if anything at all. They're going to give him a gain of 1. 3rd down and 7. Carried by Madden Solorazo, the defensive back / wide receiver, 5'9" and 160-pound senior. On that carry, it's going to be 3rd down. They're going to mark it 3rd down and 8 from the 27-yard line. Head coach Jacob Hout, who's not too far from us here, responsible for filming duties, claiming that this Seguin team, at least in the early going, is cooking with Crisco. Kind of hard to disagree. 4 seconds left in ticking. 3:50 left to go. Palacios is bottled up. Wild as he throws. That incompletion is going to bring up 4th down. And once again, a possible 4 and out. On the rush, it's going to be Kimarian Miki yet again. The Seguin defensive front, more stubborn than your mother-in-law, as some folks would say. 4th down and 8 after the incompletion. As Mesh once again back deep to receive for Seguin. Mesh already has a 75-yard touchdown run. Bobbles with it. It's a low line drive punt. Takes a hard hit to the dirt at the 45. Another bounce at the 40. Still rolling, and then eventually gets marked down at around the 30. As now Seguin will take back over 1st down and 10. As it looks like we have yet another player down. Looks like it's going to be a player for North Mesquite. As he gets tended to, we'll give our sponsors a chance at a message. 3:41 left to go in quarter number 1. North Mesquite down 15-0. Back after this. Seguin football on the Antler Sports Network continues in 30 seconds. First down and 10 for Andrews and this Seguin offense after forcing North Mesquite to go 4 and out. Clock rolling, 3:40 left to go. It's a quick throw to the outside. It's behind the line of scrimmage, so the ball is live. It gets brought back by Seguin, and an absolute hit. Multiple Stallions on the tackle. Well, that's going to be a massive loss. A loss of about 7 or so. As it looks like it was intended to be a little swing pass over to Jonathan Polk, the junior, the intended target. The miscommunication there, but thankfully Seguin able to recover it. That's going to be a loss of 8. The ball is going to be placed on the 24-yard line. 2nd and 18 now for the Seguin offense, who is of course, as we've seen, had a couple of flags, some setbacks in the early going, but they have a Mesh 75-yard touchdown run and a Bly 21-yard touchdown run to their credit. So, as I said earlier, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. And speaking of the journey, it's a run by Mesh again. Mesh at the 50, 45, 40. One more man to beat. They're not going to catch him. Touchdown, Seguin again. Tired as an ox. But once again, the rushing attack for Seguin proves pivotal as they get on the board. Man, 2:33 left to go. The second big run, at least of 60 yards or more. As now Seguin looking to attempt the PAT. 21-0 for the Cougars. As if you looked up perfect start of the dictionary, this first quarter would be the definition. Kick is up and good. After yet another big run, Seguin expands their lead. 22-20, 2:33 left to go in the first. This is Seguin Cougars football on the Antler Sports Network. Back after this break.
Find your support system. At Texas Wesleyan, you'll get the one-on-one attention you need to succeed. Texas Wesleyan, small classes, big scholarships. Now that's smaller, smarter.
After another long touchdown run, we can add it to the illustrious list of things that seem guaranteed in life. Death, taxes, and a long touchdown run for the Cougars. North Mesquite looking to respond once more. Oscar Lopez, the sophomore, looking to boot things off. And we are back and ready to go again from Arlington, Texas. Kickoff is being returned by Andrew Robertson. Robertson doesn't get very far. Might have gotten to the 20. They're going to mark him down at the 22-yard line, and that's where North Mesquite will take over 1st and 10. So Mesh has a 75-yard touchdown run on a one-play drive. And now he has a 71-yard run. Drive summary, pretty simple. 2 plays, 69 yards, 1 minute and 8 seconds. And now North Mesquite and their offense trots back onto the field. First down at 10. Ball placed on the 22-yard line. If you're listening over on ASN Radio, North Mesquite going from right to left on your respective device. Linebackers make a shift for Seguin. It's going to be a handoff right down Main Street into the mayor's office, but no appointment as immediately stuffed. On the tackle is Dion Truss. On the carry for North Mesquite, Caleb Fields, the 5'11", 175-pound sophomore. Not very happy with the result. No gain, it appears to be. Second down and 10. Clock rolling, minute and 50 left to go in this first period of play. After no gain, man in motion. It's going to be an option. Looking to pitch and getting absolutely nowhere. As the Seguin defense once again sending the heat. Led once again by Dion Truss. Back-to-back tackles. Guess you can call that last one a TFL. Not 100% sure, but either way, Escalante bottled up well behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to make it third down and about 13 to go. We're going to mark the ball at the 20-yard line. Minute 17 left in this first. Check that. They're going to mark it third down and 12. This North Mesquite huddle right at around the 15-yard line as they step back onto the line of scrimmage. Looking at third down and 13. We've hit 1 minute left to go in the first quarter of this new season. It's going to be a keeper. It's going to be a keeper for Zyshawn Cluis. Cluis not going to get very far. It's going to be a loss of around 3. And guess who it is? As if you haven't heard his name enough, Dion Truss. Trust that he's going to be in the backfield. How about that? That's going to make it 4th and a country mile for North Mesquite, and punt time once again for the Stallions. Loss of 4 is going to make it 4th down and 16. Punting is going to be Ivan Escalante. He's 6 foot 1 inch, 170 pound junior. Back deep, the dangerous one, Makai Mesh. We've already seen him break off for 2 big touchdowns for 75 and 71 yards respectively. High snap, possibly could be blocked, and no, they're going to keep it. It's a run to the outside. Escalante easily going to get it very far. He might have gained 2 yards total, at least from where his starting position was. Blitz was initially sent by Hodge, guess who? But the tackle was made by Carian Brown. As it looks like Escalante is a bit slow to get up. One of the more important players on this North Mesquite offense, and as he gets treated to, we'll take a short timeout. Back after this on the Antler Sports Network. Thankfully, Escalante back up, walking under his own power. Could possibly be a cramp. And to tell you, folks, it wouldn't be surprising. It is a uncomfortable day, to say the least. 5 seconds left to go in this first quarter of play. Seguin with the early advantage here on Senior Day. This not only the Seguin Cougars team, but this Arlington ISD family welcoming back their fearless leader, Eric White, athletic director. Took a hiatus for health, but speaking with him early today, fair to say, folks, he's excited and has to be even more excited with the way his Seguin Cougars have played in the early going. 1st down and 10. Fantastic field position. Ball at the 16-yard line. Andrews is under center. Going to be a fade ball. Throw back in the end zone. Head top touchdown! Touchdown Seguin! Carterius Brown going to the top floor to add 6 to the scoreline. 12-yard pass. Chevy Andrews, all he had to do was simply throw the ball up there. Made an announcement at the line of scrimmage that he possibly had a mismatch. And as you can see, working to the success of the Seguin offense. Well, that's an easy drive summary. One play, 5 seconds, 12 yards, possibly 7 points as we await the PAT. Oscar Lopez looking to do the honors. Clean snap, clean hold. Kick is low. Wide left, no good. However, if you're Seguin, you can't be too upset with that. The easiest drive summary in the world and the second quarter. Back after this. From the ASN family of platforms, this is Arlington Seguin football. The Seguin Cougars, after yet another successful offensive drive that resulted in points, looking to continue the luck here. Kickoff is deep, fielded almost inside of the 10, and not going to get much farther, not even out of the red zone here. As a big-time tackle by host of Seguin Cougars. I'm going to give the initial tackle, at least from our perspective, to A.J. Horace, the linebacker slash safety, the junior. As we begin quarter number 2, first down and 10. Ball going to be placed about the 18-yard line. As we look to get a update from the broadcast over on ASN2, our college football season opener, as Texas Wesleyan hosts Lindsey Wilson. Third quarter set to begin from Crowley, not too far from us here in Arlington. It's 24-all. Texas Wesleyan has possession. Lindsey Wilson came into this game ranked. Lindsey Wilson came into this game ranked. Texas Wesleyan at one point a ranked team. Three-way tie for the Sooner Athletic Conference Championship here. Pre-snap flag is thrown, as it looks like it might be a false start penalty called against Mesquite, and it is. That's going to make it a much more difficult first down start to this drive. First down and 15 to go. Ball is placed on the 12-yard line. Last time the Seguin Cougars were here, it was a win against Midlothian High. Now looking to make it back-to-back victories here in the former home of the Texas Rangers. 9 seconds on the play clock. We've only ticked away 5 seconds into this the second quarter. Ball comes out. Flag is thrown. Mad dash for it. Looks like Seguin may have it at the bottom of the pile. But as mentioned, a flag was thrown over at the line of scrimmage. Offsides penalty is going to be called against Seguin. Man, that's got to be a heartbreaker. As North Mesquite charts their offense back out onto the field. Now, we're pretty much back from square one. First down and 10 after the Seguin defensive penalty. 11:47 and counting in the second quarter of play. First down and 10. Ball back on the 17. Bryson Palacios, the quarterback, under center. It's going to be a keeper. Trying to get a push from his offensive line. It looks like he does. That's going to be a gain of around 4. Mark it second down. And about 6 to go, of course, barring the official spot. Clock still rolling. 11 minutes, 13 seconds. Going to make it only a gain of 3. Second down and 7 to go. As we hear the Seguin band right below us here in the booth, serenading us. Guess you could say. 11 minutes left to go. After that, Palacios keeper. Second down. It's going to be a toss. Seguin blitzes. Bouncing to the outside, looking for room is Simpson. Simpson's bottled up. Looks like he was well behind the line of scrimmage. As on the tackle is Shakorian Hodge. Hodge, early contender for our defender of the game. Postgame, myself and Zach Abercrombie will elect 3 stars. The 3 best players, or at least the 3 players that delivered the best performance in tonight's game. 10 minutes, 20 seconds and counting left to go in this first half. A great way to kick off the season. Seguin up 28-0. Ball is right on the 20-yard line. After the Julian Simpson run, Palacios rolls out. Bliss walloped as he throws. As on the pressure once again, Marion Ross. I believe that's his second or third hurry in this game. That incompletion is once again going to bring up punting time. Fourth down for North Mesquite. Clock halted at 10:01. Seguin High School, of course, part of Arlington ISD, the only 5A school in the district. School opened back in August of 2022. Kicking things deep for North Mesquite is Ivan Escalante. He was escorted off of the field. Looks like he might have had a cramp, but seems to be okay. This one's high-arcing kick, and it's going to be hauled in by Mesh at or around the 45-yard line. Breaking to the outside and has room along the numbers at the 30. He's got the sideline at the 20, 15, 10, 10-5, goal line. Touchdown. Pick up the phone. House call. Punt return. Touchdown for Seguin as they get on the board again. They've done it through the air. They've done it on the ground. And now they complete the scoring triple crown on special teams. There seems to be nothing you can do to stop these guys. 9:46 left to go. And it's 34-0 with still plenty of football left to be played. And trotting back onto the field to attempt the PAT is Oscar Lopez. Lopez, clean snap, clean hole. The kick is up and good. So, guess what? Seguin scored again. It's a great day to be in the baby blue and gray. We take a timeout. 9:46 left to go in the second quarter. Seguin up big here at Choctaw Stadium. Our coverage of high school football continues after this timeout. It's a hot day, but some fans here at Choctaw Stadium seem to be having fun, and we hope you're having fun watching tonight's broadcast. Season opener of the 2024-25 year. Seguin, one word to describe them, keeping it short and sweet, ladies and gentlemen. Dominant. 35-0 as you see there. 9:46 left to go in this first half of play. Jared Jones, our executive producer and statistician, Zach Abercrombie, sitting to my right. We will hear from him and his thoughts on this contest at the half. Back deep to receive the kick is Julian Simpson. Simpson, 5'10", junior, 165 pounds. 55-yard touchdown run from Malachi Mesh gives us our current score. Also back deep, as the ball is up in the air, is Andrew Robertson. And this one is absolutely bombed into the end zone for a touchback. Good night, Nurse. As now, North Mesquite will take back over first down and 10. 4 and out last time. That punt ended up being a 55-yard touchdown return. As the rushing attack has been the main weapon for Seguin. Isaac Bly, a 21-yard day so far with a touchdown. Chevy Andrews has 32 yards of his own. And, of course, Malachi Mesh, 146 yards on 3 carries, 75 yards his longest, and 2 touchdowns, a side of fries, a medium shake, and a punch card. Thanks for coming. How about that? Under center. Now is Clueless. Ball is bobbled. He's going to keep it. Might have gotten a yard or 2, and that's exactly what they'll mark him. Gain of 2. That'll make it second down and 8. Our coverage of the beginning of this football season continues for the next 2 days. On Friday, we'll be back in East Texas. Tomorrow night at Jack V. Murphy Stadium in Gladewater, Texas, for the Northeast Texas Kickoff Classic. Day 2 of 3, that is. As the Elysian Fields Yellow Jackets take on the Tennehaw Tigers, led by first-year head coach Marlon Birdsong. And after that, it's a Saturday doubleheader. As the Tri-County Youth Football Alliance kicks off their season, it's the 64 war between Chapel Hill and Henderson. As there's a pitch to the outside to Escalante. Escalante bounces along the numbers. He might have gained a yard. That's exactly what they'll give him. Going to be third down and around 7 to go. As we mentioned, the Tri-County Youth Football Alliance season opener will get us started on Saturday morning. 9 o'clock kickoff. And then after that, the nightcap at around 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's the final game of the Northeast Texas Kickoff Classic from Gladewater, Texas. It's the Big Sandy Wildcats taking on the Winona Wildcats. So a good old-fashioned cat fight to finish off our opening weekend coverage. 3rd down and 7 after the keeper. It's going to be a run once again. Looks like that's to Simpson. Simpson gets brought down. Check that. That's not Simpson on the carry. That was Terrence Collins getting his 2nd run of the game. And that looks like it is going to be good enough for a North Mesquite 1st down. So now the Stallions looks like they might be getting something going on offense. It's on the far side sideline. Zyshawn Kluwitz getting a little bit of a talking to from Coach Tim Setter. Of course, as we mentioned, both Tim and head coach Joe Gordon, NFL alumni. We'll hear from Coach Joe Gordon postgame. Under center is Kluwitz. Kluwitz, handoff, option, no, but to keeper to the outside, bouncing out to 40 and out of bounds is Simpson. As Simpson, flag is thrown. Looks like that's definitely going to be a late hit, at least I would think so. As Simpson bounced back up almost immediately, talking a little bit of trash on the sideline. So good to see that although the score line may not be in their favor, Mesquite still showing some fight with 7:42 left to go in this first half of play. Officials convening at the 40. Personal foul is indeed called against Seguin. 15-yard penalty will automatically move the sticks and keep it 1st down and 10. Here at Choctaw Stadium for the season opener. First time we've had either of these ball clubs, at least regular season-wise. Of course, earlier this year, myself and Zach Abercrombie were over on the campus of Seguin High School, broadcasting the Seguin Cougars spring game. And it's fair to say, that's the best way to start off a season. Up 35-0. But they're looking at a North Mesquite team who looks like they could be building a little bit of momentum here. After the penalty, ball is being placed on the 43-yard line, 1st and 10. Kluwitz back under center, man in motion. Option is going to be a pitch to the outside, looking for space. It's Escalante. Escalante gets brought down after a gain of 8. Multiple Cougars there on the tackle. Initially was Jacob Bly. Don't know if we can give him the same Let It Bly moniker as Isaac, but I'll try to talk to the coaching staff after the game. They'll make the final decision. Either way, the Escalante carry, good chunk of yardage there, gain of 5. He's going to make it 2nd down and medium. Ball on the 33-yard line, it appears to be. 2nd down and 5. Kluwitz back under center. This option game for North Mesquite seeming to be working here. Handoff up the middle. Ball comes loose. Seguin has it. Seguin has the football. The ball came out after the faked handoff by Kluwitz. And coming up with it is going to be A.J. Horace, the junior, coming up with a big-time play. It seems as if half the guys on the field for both teams thought that North Mesquite still had the football. Didn't know that it was on the ground. The Seguin defense coming up once again, and now right at midfield, it's going to be 1st and 10 for Coach Joe Gordon and his offense. 6:52 left to go in this first half. One receiver out wide, that being Jonathan Polk at the top of your screen. Looks like we have a quick whistle. Timeout is going to be called by Seguin. Their 2nd timeout, and as they take that timeout, we'll take it with them. Seguin up big, 35-0. We'll be back after this from the ASN family of platforms. This is Arlington Seguin Cougars football.
Find your support system. At Texas Wesleyan, you'll get the one-on-one attention you need to succeed. Texas Wesleyan, small classes, big scholarships. Now that's smaller, smarter.
Happy to see some fans having fun, although it is a pretty toasty day. Nonetheless, it's the start of the new season. After Seguin takes the timeout, they're back. 1st down and 10. Ball placed at midfield. This presentation of Seguin football is brought to you by Texas Western University. Smaller classes, bigger scholarships, bigger results. Snap is given. It's going to be a run once again. Bounce to the outside, looking for space is Mesh. Mesh still going. Flag is thrown in around the 49. Don't know what that could be, but it looks like could possibly be face mask penalty. It's called against North Mesquite. And that's tacking on 15 extra yards. How about that? Move the chains. It will remain 1st and 10. Speaking of Texas Western University, with 7:43 left to go in the third quarter of play, they are up on the Blue Raiders of Lindsey Wilson, up 31-24. Lindsey Wilson on upset alert on the road in week 1. Of course, we'll keep you updated on the score of that contest, which you can switch over to right now over on ASN2. Tune in to all things Antler Sports Network in one place, whether that be ASN 1, 2, or our DP's Texas friends over at KBMM. Find it all at antlersn.com/watch. 6 minutes, 20 seconds and counting left to go in the second quarter. Andrews under center. It's going to be a handoff again to Mesh. Mesh has room at the 20. Spins down at the 19-yard line as moving the chains once again is the Seguin run game. If you're a clock operator here at Choctaw Stadium, so many run plays, gotta admit, your job might be pretty simple. Keep that thing rolling. 6 minutes, 4 seconds left to go now. Seguin quickly back to the line of scrimmage. Ball's at the 19. Handoff again to Mesh. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. This handoff is going to be good for a solid gain of around 7. No flags, at least to what I can see. And that's going to make it 2nd down and short. Make it 2nd down and 4 after the spot. 5.5 minutes left to go. Arlington Seguin up 35-0 here on senior night. 18 seconds on the play clock. Andrews under center. 2 backs, 2 receivers. Handoff. Carry. Still going. It's Bly. Bly gets brought down, but not before he can gain 10. Move the chains yet again. A Seguin 1st down. If I had $1 for every time I've said Seguin 1st down or Seguin rush today, it's fair to say I probably could have flown into Arlington today on an airplane, on a private jet, that is. 4:50 left to go. 1st down and goal. Ball on the 7. It's a toss play. Into Bly. Bly stiff arm still up at the 5. Gets knocked out of bounds at the 4. That's a gain of 3. Stayed in bounds. So the clock will continue to move. Isaac Bly already has a big touchdown in this game. That carry was a 21-yard touchdown. Now looking to add on to it here. The backs are Damian Cheatham as well as Bly. The lone receiver at the top of your screen is Polk. Man in motion. Andrews. It's going to be a draw to Cheatham. Cheatham looks like he might have gotten a yard, and that is it. They're only going to give him 1 yard on that one. So now 3rd down and goal. Ball is going to be placed. No, they're going to give him no gain. Or even a loss, it appears to be. Yep, they mark it down at the 5. As now it looks like Mesquite head coach Tim Setter had a quick talk with the line judge. Now 10 seconds on the play clock here. Clock rolling. 3 minutes, 25 seconds left. 5 seconds to get the snap off. Andrews looking at his feet. 2 seconds, 1 second. They got to get it off, and they will not do so. Back judge ends up throwing the flag. That'll make this 3rd and goal just a tad bit more difficult. Delay a game penalty called against Seguin, their 3rd of the game. Malachi Mesh, 170 yards total on 5 carries. His longest, 75 yards, 2 touchdowns. Chevy Andrews, the QB, a rush of his own of 32 yards. Isaac let it Bly. 2 carries, 24 yards. His most recent run, a short gain of 3. The other run, a 21-yard touchdown. Not bad splits if you ask me. It's going to be 3rd and goal from the 10. Toss out to Cheetah. No, that's Bly. Check that. He gets brought down. Tackle is going to be made by Kalen Green. The 5'10 junior plays both sides of the football, the offensive, defensive lines respectively. And it looks like on 4th down, Andrews is still on the field. I don't know about you folks, but I don't see a field goal unit. Looks like they're going to go for this thing. Quick substitution being made now. Polk out. Cohen Peeler in. As we've already seen, Carterius Brown with a good old-fashioned fade ball hauled in from an 11-yard pass from Andrews. Let's see what Seguin pulls out of the Rabbits' hat now. It's going to be a play-action throw. Behind the line of scrimmage, it's going to be an open carry, but short. No cigar. Turnover on downs in North Mesquite. Sure, you get it 1st and 10, but at what cost? With 2:22 left to go, you're now starting your next offensive drive and what could be possibly the final drive of the first half in some pretty murky field position. Ball is going to be placed at, let's mark it, the 8-yard line. 1st down and 10, backs against the wall with 2:22 left to go. At the half, we'll check in once again down I-20 and 35 West to Crowley ISD Multipurpose Field for our friends at Texas Wesleyan. Myself and Zach Abercrombie will discuss what we've seen at the half, go over some stats, and get you ready for half number 2. 7 seconds left on the play clock. Got to get something off quickly here. And they do. Flag is thrown. Possible draw. I don't know what the possible intention was. Either way, a flag is thrown. Looks like it may be a false start called against North Mesquite as we now await the play call. Offside penalty. Check that. Going against Seguin. It will remain 1st down. Best case scenario, easy yards. Clock will stop with 2:19. .210, clock rolling. As we approach the 2-minute mark, it's 1st down and 5. Ball is on the 13. Palacios under center. Man in motion. Going to be a keeper calling his own number, but doesn't have the best reception. Looks like it might have been a loss of 1. Making it 2nd down and 6, at least from this I know. They're going to give him no gain. 2nd down and 5, that is. Only a couple more plays left to go in this first half as we hit the 1.5-minute mark. Temperature outside, 86 degrees. There was some rainfall, some on the heavier side, at least in the northeast portions of the Lone Star State. 1:20 left to go, but you couldn't tell stepping outside. It's still hotter than fish grease out. 2 seconds, 1 second to get a play off. Man in motion. It's going to be a keeper, and it's a pitch over to Simpson, and Simpson bottled up almost immediately for no gain. First on the tackle for Seguin, KJ Holloway, the junior defensive lineman. Yep, they will indeed mark it no gain. 3rd down and 5 with a 47 seconds left. So maybe 1 or 2 more plays remaining in this first half of play. If you're just now tuning in, it's been all Arlington Seguin in the season opener at Choctaw Stadium. Triple option here. Handoff once again to Simpson. Isn't going to get very far. Might have gained 1, but either way you slice it, there's going to be 4th down time once more. As Hodge and Simpson share some pleasantries. Good to see, no matter the score, there is still a little bit of sportsmanship here. And that will most likely be the final play of the half, and it is. 2 seconds, 1 second, and that will do it for the first half of the opening contest of the 2024 season. As we head to the break, it's been all Seguin. Could we see more of the same? We'll find out a bit later on. But first, we'll take a break. At the break, It's 35-0 Arlington Seguin. Back in 3 minutes from the ASN family of platforms. This is Arlington Seguin football on the Antler Sports Network.
Find your support system. At Texas Wesleyan, you'll get the one-on-one attention you need to succeed. Texas Wesleyan, small classes, big scholarships. Now that's smaller, smarter.
We have hit halftime, ladies and gentlemen. Arlington Seguin, nothing short of dominant, up 35-0 here in the season opener against North Mesquite. Jared Jones, Zach Abercrombie here with you here at Choctaw Stadium in what has been a whale of a game. And speaking of a whale of a game, over on ASN2, Texas Wesleyan is up 31-24 on the ranked Lindsey Wilson Blue Raiders over in Crowley. Not too far, about a good 25 to 30 minute drive with a minute 42 left in the third period of play. Speaking of scoring, let's go over our scoring drives. Same sentiment echoes loud and clear. All Seguin. It was a Malachi Mesh 75-yard rush that got us going. One play, pretty much 0 seconds on the drive summary. Isaac Bly, let it Bly. Second touchdown of the game. 5-play, 55-yard drive. Took 2 minutes and 56 seconds. Capped off by a 21-yard touchdown rush. Guess who? Mesh, again, 71-yard touchdown rush that go-around. 2 plays, 1 minute and 8 seconds. That made it 22-0. Carterius Brown going upstairs for the 16-yard touchdown catch from Andrews after forcing the muffed punt. PAT ended up being good, 29-0. And as we saw not too long ago in the second quarter, it was a punt return at 55 yards returned by Malachi Mesh. Capped off by the Oscar Lopez successful PAT that made it 36-0. Now, let's bring in Zach Abercrombie, the man who's been tracking all of our stats, doing a fantastic job, might I add. It's the new season. If you're Arlington Seguin in that locker room, it's fair to say that you've had pretty much a picture-perfect night. How do you think the vibes are in that locker room, not too far away from us?
I imagine the vibes are immaculate.
Absolutely immaculate.
They've been pretty dominant, starting with Mish. I mean, he's been a superstar getting it done on special teams, running the ball, catching the ball, you name it. It seems like he can do no wrong out there. And then, you know, having your number 2 guy, Isaac Blythe, being able to score touchdowns for you, it's a pretty good feeling. I think, you know, some of the conversations in the locker room, let's clean up some of the penalties, getting up to the line, playing with more urgency. But so far, so good, man. It's been all Seguin here tonight.
Speaking of Mesh, I mean, come on. 5 rushes, 170 yards, 2 touchdowns. As I said earlier, a side of fries, add cheese, and a milkshake. I mean, this kid's done it all. All the fixins, the lettuce, tomato, pickles, ketchup, you name it, it's there. An absolute stat sheet stuffer game so far for Mesh. Now, let's look to the other side. If you're this North Mesquite Stallion team in the locker room going into the half down 35-0, what do you say? I mean, there's only so many coaches' cliches and stigmas and speeches and famous quotes that you could use. But let's both of us put the broadcast headsets off and put the coaching headsets on. What do you say to this team to keep them in this game? Because I don't know about you, but I saw, at least on their 3rd offensive drive, they had some spark. They got a quick 7-yard run, ended up moving the chains on a first down, their first first down of the game. So there's some good things to touch on. What do you say?
If I'm the coach, I'm telling them, why not us? If they can score 36 points in the first half, why can't we go out in the second half and do the same thing? Sometimes, as a team, you have to get punched in the mouth to, you know, wake yourself up. It's the first game of the season, a lot of jitters. They haven't had anything going for them, so all it takes is a spark. One spark to start a flame, and, you know, you just build upon that, and, you know, we have a ball game.
Well, I think it would be easy to say that in this hot weather, this hot evening, it'd be pretty easy to light a spark. So maybe that's another side of optimism for this North Mesquite team. When we come back, we'll take one more look at the stats, recap what's going on, at least across the Antler Sports Network this season, and more. Seguin up big here on the season opener. Our halftime coverage continues after this. It's the Cougars 35, Stallions nothing from the ASN family of platforms. This is Seguin High School football.
Find your support system. At Texas Wesleyan, you'll get the one-on-one attention you need to succeed. Texas Wesleyan, small classes, big scholarships. Now that's smaller, smarter.
Another update here from Texas Wesleyan. 14:48 left to go in the fourth period of play. Score still remains. The Rams up 31-24, looking to put the ranked Blue Raiders of Lindsey Wilson out of Kentucky on upset alert. Jared Jones, Zach Abercrombie, happy to be with you here at Choctaw Stadium. Tried to get Coach Gordon at least over the phone to give us a couple of quick words, but looks like we'll have a better shot of getting him in the post game. Now, Zach, you may not be from East Texas, similar to me, but you played some good old-fashioned high school football back in your native Houston area. Can you describe or even go back to your favorite opening day memory? Of course, there's always spring ball, there's always summer workouts, but everything comes to fruition on nights like this. Do you have any fond memories or radio-friendly stories that you can tell us about your favorite season opening moments?
The opening kickoff. That's the most, I don't know, it's all the anticipation all summer, everything you work for spring. You're just standing there waiting, and it's the start of a new season. It shows you where you are as a team. At my high school, we didn't always do good in our first games, but even despite a L, it's still a learning experience. No matter what happens on the field, you can always build upon it and going into next week.
I feel like that's one big thing that I feel like both of us can agree that North Mesquite needs to cling on to. This is a learning experience. It's the first game of the year. Number one, it's not a district contest, so this really doesn't have that much effect on the bigger picture in terms of where you want to be, that being in the postseason. And if you look at Seguin, they went 500 last year. Out of an 8-team district, there were 5 teams that went 500, and they missed out on it by a couple of plays on certain games early in the district year. Everman was ahead of them with the same record. So take that into consideration. The beginning of your season doesn't at all show the roadmap that your team can go towards. So it's fair to say that I hope North Mesquite takes that as well. And if you're Seguin, don't let up the gas. Because as you said, Zach, it takes one spark, one play, one moment, one throw, one run, one turnover, a penalty to start something, to get some momentum going. And next thing you know, we could be looking at a 2-possession ball game, let alone 35-0 here at the break. Speaking of the break, let's go ahead and take a look at what both teams have in store, at least for this season. As we mentioned earlier, Seguin after this one, pretty tough test. One of the best teams in the state, and the Red Oak Hawks, that is on the road in Red Oak. Game was initially set for Thursday, but it will be next Friday. After that, they head on the road again to take on the Elks of Burleson. First, their next game on the Antler Sports Network will be on September 19th against the Grapevine Mustangs from Wildman Field. After that, they head on the road on September the 27th to take on the Cougars of the Colony. After that, back on the Antler Sports Network, their first of 2 games against Mansfield ISD opponents on October 3rd. They host the Mansfield Timberview Wolves. After that, October 11th, the following week, is at Argyle for a date with the Eagles. Following that, ironically, is against the Colleyville Heritage Panthers, also on the Antler Sports Network. On their broadcast team over in Colleyville is the man that's leading the broadcast team not too far from us over on ASN2, Will Connerly. Not only is he doing a little broadcast work for Wesleyan, he's also going to be on the broadcast for Colleyville Heritage. So a little bit of a connection there. Next week, that following contest on October 24th, they hit the road, hit I-20 and go south to take on the Bulldogs of Everman, the very team that denied them a playoff spot last year in the second to last week of the season. And to close things out, the Seguin Cougar season finale, both in season and in broadcast season, as they have the battle for Matlock Road, as they'll lock horns with the second Mansfield ISD team that they have on their schedule, the Jags of Mansfield Summit. Kickoff on that rivalry game from Wildman Field, 7 p.m. on ASN1. On the other side, for North Mesquite and the Stallions, their season after this is an all-Mesquite matchup against the Skeeters of Mesquite High on September 6th. Following that, they have a date with the Cougars of Dallas Adams High on September 20th. It's a home game, quote-unquote, against yet another Mesquite ISD team and the Wranglers of West Mesquite. On the 27th of September, they finish off the month with a date with the Creekview Mustangs at home at Williams Stadium. October 4th, it's another Carrollton Farmers Branch ISD team and the Newman Smith Trojans as senior night festivities continue here at Choctaw Stadium. following their contest against the Trojans on October 10th. The North Mesquite Stallions take on the Bison of Dallas Sunset High. It's yet another, the second of 3 straight Dallas ISD contests. On October 17th, they take on the Molina Jaguars and their last Dallas ISD team and their final home game against the Longhorns of Dallas W.T. White. And their season conclusion on Friday, November 8th, is over at Stanbridge Stadium for the R.L. Turner Lions. That's a look at both team schedules. When we come back, we'll continue to get you ready for the second half. North Mesquite down against Arlington Seguin, 35-0. Our coverage of Seguin High School football continues on the Antler Sports Network after this break.
Find your support system. At Texas Wesleyan, you'll get the one-on-one attention you need to succeed. Texas Wesleyan, small classes, big scholarships. Now that's smaller, smarter.
First, we have Ray Adcock. He played to the He's been supported by his mom, dad, little brothers, family, friends. He plans to attend UNT, studying business and administration after high school. He would like to recognize the photography teacher, Mr. Pope, and all band directors. If you have hands for broken hair grad, he's escorted by his mom, Griselda, his dad, Juan, brother, Damien, and friends, Damien and Michael. He plans on attending either TCU or UTA to study music and computer science. Our next senior is Antonio Easley. He's escorted by his parents, Antonio and Tisha Easley. He plans on attending UTA to study.
Find your support system. At Texas Wesleyan, you'll get the one-on-one attention you need to succeed. Texas Wesleyan, small classes, big scholarships. Now that's smaller, smarter.
Senior night festivities continuing here at Choctaw Stadium. Fresh 12 minutes on the clock, and we are set to go for half number 2. Will we see North Mesquite turn a new leaf, get back into this game, or more of the same Seguin dominance? We'll find out momentarily. As you can see, the Seguin Cougars up 35-0 as we get ready for half number 2. Jared Jones, Zach Abercrombie with you, delivering all the action as the Seguin Cougars get back on to the field. Fair to say, the momentum is on their side, if you haven't noticed already. And it's all thanks to the Seguin rushing attack. A multi-headed dragon, if you will. Malachi Mesh, 170 yards on 5 attempts, 75 yards being his longest run. 2 touchdowns. Chevy Andrews, 32 yards on 1 rush. No touchdowns, but right below him, Isaac Bly, 24 yards on 2 carries. A touchdown with a 21-yarder being his longest rush. North Mesquite will come out of the half, get the football first. Oscar Lopez, the sophomore, holding that neon green tee to get ready to kick things off from Choctaw Stadium once again. Another look at the other broadcast on slate tonight over on ASN2. The Texas Wesleyan Rams with 10:40 left to go in the final period, holding off the ranked Lindsey Wilson Blue Raiders as they continue to be placed on upset alert. Will Connerly, Jimmy the St. Christopher, calling the contest over on ASN2, which you can find online at antlersn.com/watch. You can find all the ASN feeds as our opening night or opening weekend, that is, coverage continues through Saturday. Both teams back onto the field. As previously stated, Seguin kicking things back off. If you're listening on ASN Radio, North Mesquite in the white tops, blue bottoms, blue, white, and black helmets. They'll be going from left to right on your respective device. As we mentioned, Lopez getting ready to kick things off. Back deep to receive for North Mesquite is Julian Simpson. Lopez getting things teed off right at the 40. Takes a couple of steps back. The rest of the Cougar Special Teams kickoff unit aligning at the 35-yard line. As the head coach Joe Gordon trots onto the field right in the middle. Looks like he's calling over head coach Tim Setter for North Mesquite. Don't know what could be going on here. Oh, little handshake. Having a quick little discussion. As we like to say in referee land, discussing whether it's Applebee's or Chili's after tonight's contest. I can only speak for the broadcast team. Not sure where we'll go after this game. But we have to get to the end of the game first. Simpson still awaiting as both coaches disperse from their conversations. Goes Joe Gordon now, taking his time, right along the numbers. Now stepping out of bounds, he goes along the 45-yard line and gets out of bounds and talks to the field judge. Still awaiting here. Goes Joe Gordon, still speaking with the official. Maybe he's asking them Applebee's or Chili's after the game. We'll try to get you an update on the decision momentarily. But we have kickoff once again. The drum line for Waunsegin High right below us, and we have a stoppage yet again. Referees call for time. Don't know what it's for. Still not 100% sure. Still waiting. Still waiting. Still waiting. Okay, maybe third time's the charm. Back judge gives the signal to begin play. Still waiting. Lopez gives the thumbs up, and we are underway. Half number 2 from Choctaw Stadium. As bobbling it and still looking forward is Robertson as it rolls out of bounds for a touchback. And so North Mesquite will take over first and 10. Ball will be placed on the 25-yard line. It's been the rushing, or at least the blitzing ability, not only of the all-intents Seguin linebackers, but the immediate pressure given by that defensive line that has been the main factor, at least from my collection, of the first 2 quarters of play. On the offensive side of the ball, of course, it's been the rushing attack. Last season, Seguin was only held to under 100 rushing yards in 3 games, that being against Red Oak, against Aubrey in their season opener, also as well against Midlothian High. It's got to be a keeper. Turn to the outside corner is Cluis. Cluis gets bottled up at around the 25. They're going to give him the original line of scrimmage. Second down and 10. Tackles made by Seguin's LaShawn Tolbert. As the quarterback, Zyshawn Cluis, also plays defensive back. Listed on our rosters as 6 foot, 170-pound junior. Clock rolling. Minute about 40 seconds, almost a minute, elapsed in this third quarter. 11-17 to be specific in the quarter number 3. Second down and 10. Man in motion. Seguin jumps. Flag is thrown. Free play opportunity here. Cluis gets to the outside at the top of the numbers and gets bottled up. Alligator rolled yet again on the tackle. Guess who? Preston Randall, his second tackle of the game. But again, there is a flag. Offsides penalty being called against Seguin. As the officials mark off the penalty, give them 5 more yards, them being the North Mesquite Stallions. Last season, as a team, Stallions averaged 127 passing yards a game, 102 on the ground, 120 through the air, 241 all-purpose. Now looking to get on the board against this, what has been stifling Seguin defense. Cluis under center, keeps it himself, gets to the outside, Chase gets the first down and looking for more. Russ out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Move the chains. As there it is once again. The speed of this rushing attack for North Mesquite, moving the chains, making it first down and 10 with 10:47 left to go. It was pushed out of bounds by Jordan Chris, the defensive back. Now North Mesquite looking at a fresh set of downs, 10:47. Again left to go. Ball's placed on the 39-yard line, knocking on the door of Seguin territory. Cluis with a man in motion. It's going to be a handoff. Handoff is given to Derek Hamilton. His first rush of the game isn't going to get very much. No, he squeezes through. That's going to be a gain of 4. So first rush of the game, and you're continuing what has been, at least so far, a pretty productive Stallions drive. Second down and 7 after the gain of 3. Ball is going to be placed at the 43-yard line. Tackle was made by LaShawn Tolbert, his second of the quarter. 10-16 and counting. Left to go in the third. Cluis back under center. 2 men in motion. Flag is thrown. Second flag of this drive. There's going to be a false start penalty called against North Mesquite. And you see Simpson there telling his team to calm down, urging him to breathe, stay poised, stay composed. Because if you've seen the rest of this game, or if you're just tuning in, this so far has been a picture-perfect drive for North Mesquite in comparison to how this contest started. After the penalty, that'll make it second down and 12. Ball now moved back to the 38-yard line. 7 seconds on the play clock. Got to get a move on. 9:40 left to go on the game clock. Man in motion. Going to be a triple option. Pitch to the outside to Escalante. Escalante driving through. That's going to be a gain of around 6. And the clock continues to move here. 9:27 and counting. They're going to mark it down at the 45-yard line. And an all-important third down in pretty murky territory. Third down and 4. Mesquite looking to get something going on offense. Play clock in the dime seconds. 9 minutes left to go in the third. Man in motion. Delayed handoff. It's a first down and looking for more. Breaking for space is Hamilton. It's Hamilton. Solid gain of 10 plus. Big time run there. First down and 10, North Mesquite. As our own Zach Abercrombie mentioned earlier during the half, all it takes is one spark, and this drive is looking like it could be said spark. Question is, how consistent will it be, and how much farther this thing can go, and if it can get them some points on the board. After the first, approaching 8.5 left, ball on the 44-yard line, first down and 10. Cluis still in at QB, under center. 2 tight ends in the back, 2 receivers out wide. Flag is thrown. Stop of the play. False start penalty called against North Mesquite. It will remain first down. Just add a couple of more yards. That penalty will move him almost to midfield. Clock at 8 minutes, 10 seconds. Ball's on the 49-yard line. Cluis gives the play call to his offensive line. It's going to be a handoff yet again to Hamilton. Hamilton, not the same result he had on his previous run, but that will be a short gain of 2. Multiple Seguin Cougars on the tackle. I'm going to award the initial contact, at least to my view. Number 88, Davion Carter, the junior. After the penalty, short gain. Gain of 2. Makes it 2nd down and 13. Clock still rolling. 7-13. Man in motion. Pitch. It's to the outside to Simpson. Simpson is going to lose 2. And that'll be best case scenario. Multiple Seguin Cougars there on the hit. Looks like we have a quick stoppage here as Coach Joe Gordon rushes out as there is a Seguin Cougar down. And as it gets attended to, we'll give our sponsors a chance at a message. Back in a minute on the Antler Sports Network. The injured Seguin Cougar, Davion Carter, getting help off of the field. Not too far away from him. No surprise, Coach Joe Gordon. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I've seen a lot of coaches in this journey of the Antler Sports Network across multiple sports, across almost every level, but there are very few like one Joe Gordon. Looking forward to speaking to him post-game. As Carter steps off of the field. Hopefully he's okay. Try to get an injury update on him. Now North Mesquite will go back to work. 3rd down. And the George Bush Tollway to go with 7 minutes left to go in this 3rd quarter. Clock now rolls. Ball sitting at midfield. Cluis under center. Looking. Handoff. It's to Hamilton again. Hamilton is going to gain 4. And that's going to make it a pretty difficult 4th down to try to manage as we get our second look brought to you by Sportscope, official filming company of the Antler Sports Network. It'll be interesting to see what they end up going for here. And it looks like they're going to try to pin Seguin back with a punt, interestingly enough. 4th down and 12. Looking to do the kicking is Escalante again. High snap. Solid kick. Good amount of air. And it looks like it's going to be taken. Bursting out of the return is Smith. Smith has space at the 40. He has blocks. I don't think they're going to catch him, folks. 20, 15, 10, 5. Pick up the phone, house call. But hold everything. There is a flag on the play. As we take another quick look here via our Sportscope second view. I'm not too sure if this touchdown will stand. The flag was Multiple flags, one thrown up to 45, one at midfield. As now the officials convening at the North Mesquite 35-yard line. Personal foul. Legal contact to the head called against Seguin. Coach Joe Gordon speaking with the line judge. Don't know if he's trying to convince the officials to call otherwise, but don't know. Coach Joe Gordon, a background not just in coaching, but in professional football and sales. So don't know if he could try to convince the officials, try to sell them on changing the call. Not too sure. Either way, going to be first down and 10. No touchdown. So Seguin will have to settle to start their drive at the 35-yard line. Another score update. Texas Wesleyan expands that lead 10 points now. 4:55 left to go in the fourth. The Rams up over Lindsey Wilson 34-24. That game over on ASN2. Andrews in the gun. He's got it back to his left. 3 receivers, 1 on the slot, three total. Lone receiver at the top of your screen. 7 seconds left to go on the play clock. Andrews clap of the hands, takes the snap. It's going to be a handoff. And off to Cheatham, gain of 1. Well, excuse me, that's Isaac Bly. That is on the short gain. Making it second down and 9 to go. Let it Bly, as we always say. We haven't seen him let it Bly in too long, but not a betting man. At least not too much of a betting man. But I could assume that we will be seeing more of him as this game transpires. Andrews making adjustments at the line. Confirming the play call. In the gun, similar formation, except Bly, the back, instead of it to his left, now is to his right. They're going to hand it off to him again. Breaking through. Has space. Bly with a run, with a burst at the 45-yard line, crossing midfield. First down and 10 yet again for Seguin. And Isaac Bly, as we just mentioned, will probably be saying his name. How about that? The broadcaster Jinx working the opposite way. Uses his block, gets to the outside to find space, crossing into North Mesquite territory. First down and 10 for Seguin. On that tackle was Riker Crabb, and it so far is our winner for Best Name Award. We have crossed the 4.5-minute mark in quarter number 3. 4:24 left to go. 8 seconds for Seguin to get a snap off. Andrews under center. That's a handoff to again. Stutter step. Gets to the 40. Gain of around a 5 or so. That looks like that's exactly what it will be. Bly on the carry yet again. You're going to call it a gain of 3. Second down and 7 after the carry. Another reminder that this is only game 1 of technically 7 in our opening season weekend coverage on the Antler Sports Network. Tomorrow, Elysian Fields versus Tenneha from Gladewater. On Saturday morning, Tri-County Youth Football Alliance action, Chapel Hill versus Henderson in the 64 War. And later that night at 7, the nightcap, Big Sandy versus Winona. Bly takes the handoff. If he has one more man to beat, he could have space either way. Bly has a first down after the gain of 14. Let it Bly strikes yet again as we take another look with our Sports Scope instant replay here. It's been a healthy dose of Seguin rushing. This entire game of the third quarter, ladies and gentlemen, has been no different. The Seguin band not too far from us here. First down and 10. Ball is on the 26. Seguin using every second of this precious clock that they can. 5 seconds to get the snap off. Andrews under center. Handoff. Yet again, bouncing to the outside and looking for space. And not getting very much on the carry is Kadarius Trotter, the sophomore, getting some extra burn here. Short gain of 2, makes it second down and 8 to go. 3 minutes now. As Seguin taking a couple of extra seconds to get the play call. To do that, taking another look at what could have been a punt return for a touchdown. Seguin was able to force the 4 and out, but that pesky yellow rag that was thrown at midfield, calling it back. And speaking of that pesky yellow rag, no, looks like it's instead going to be a timeout for Seguin. And as they take that timeout, we'll take it with them. Coach Gordon and company want to talk things over, and as they do, we'll give our sponsor the chance at a message. Back after this, all Seguin, 35-0 on the Antler Sports Network. Ever since both teams got off the bus, it's pretty much been all Seguin. And with 2.5, specifically 2:36 left to go in the second, it's looking like we might see more of the same. After this, Seguin will be taking on one of the tougher teams in the state, that being the Hawks of Red Oak on the road. That game will not be on the Antler Sports Network, sadly, but next time the Seguin Cougars will be on the ASN, will be their Wildman Field, at least, quote-unquote, home opener against the Grapevine Mustangs. After the timeout, 2nd and 8, ball's on the 24-yard line. 2:36 left to go in the third period. Damian Cheatham, listed as a tight end, plays a little bit of tailback, a little fullback as well, making some defensive calls. Well, calling out that North Mesquite defense. Andrews is under center. Play clock at 14. Andrews takes a snap. It's a handoff. Looking for open space and still pushing through, but not before being brought down by North Mesquite number 76, Khalil Green, yet again on the tackle. It's Kadarius Trotter, the sophomore, getting back-to-back rushes. Not much, but however, still positive yards, that being a gain of 2, making it 3rd down and 6. Most importantly, if you're Seguin, that keeps that clock rolling with 2:05 left to go. Quick substitution. Looks like Trotter will come out, and indeed he will. New sub is Brandon Salazar, moving in a slot receiver. The lone back in right now is Jimani Smith. Andrews in the gun. Bobbled snap. Rolling out. Andrews looking to make something happen, but gets brought down. And a loss of, looks like that's going to be a loss of 4, sent him to the original line of scrimmage. And Andrews, not much time to work after recollecting the snap. And that's going to make it 4th down and 10. And as we know, Coach Joe Gordon not afraid to go for it here. Minute 20 left to go in the third. Clock still running here. Play clock at 14. Inside of a minute now. North Mesquite looking to send the heat, and they do. It's a handoff to Smith. Smith with a lane. Smith with a burst. Breaks a tackle. Brought down inside of the 10. Jimani Smith breaking tackles, pinballing his way to making it 1st and goal as we take a second look here. North Mesquite sent the heat. Understandably so. Smith broke the 1, tackled the 2 and the 3, and eventually gets tied down at the ankles via our Sports Scope second look. Now it's 1st and goal. Ball on the 8-yard line. Could possibly be the last play of the third period. Andrews now back under center. It's going to be a handoff. Stutter step. Sliding through. Still with open spaces. Cheat is Bly. Bly, did he get in? No, they're going to mock him short. Right at the 1-yard line. Let it Bly, let it Bly, let it Bly. Yet again. Another huge run, and that looks like that will take us into the final period. That's 3 quarters into the books here at Choctaw Stadium. One more quarter left in the season opener. Score remains 35-0 Seguin. Back after this as we flip fields on the Antler Sports Network from Choctaw Stadium. It's all fun here in this year's season opener, especially if you're on the Seguin sideline. The Cougars up big, 35-0 over North Mesquite here in Choctaw Stadium. The band's having a blast. Cheerleaders having a blast. I'm having a blast. Our own Zach Abercrombie's having a blast. Everybody's just having clean old-fashioned fun. Football is back, ladies and gentlemen. And what a better way to get this thing started if you're the Seguin Cougars up big here on Senior Day. 2nd and goal. We start the 4th. Ball's placed on the 1-yard line. Flag is thrown by the line judge. Carry is into the end zone. Touchdown by Jimani Smith. But, as we mentioned, flag is down. Not sure if that touchdown will stand. Could be possibly the second touchdown that Seguin has had called back, one on special teams. False start penalty called against the Cougars. And yes, it is. As I previously alluded to, it's not the first touchdown that Seguin has had called back tonight. They had a punt return for a touchdown called back. And as we begin the 4th here, it's looking to be done and dusted over in Crowley. As with 1:03 left to go, Texas Wesleyan gets the football back, and it looks like upset complete as they're looking to be the ones to win against Lindsey Wilson. As they get into the end, Seguin gets into the end zone again, Smith, but again, there's a flag. Smith not happy, understandably so. False start, back-to-back. 3rd touchdown called back. As now Chevy Andrews and company get pushed back some more. Still 2nd down and goal, but a much more difficult 2nd down and goal. It's going to be 2nd and goal from the 11-yard line. Man in motion, lone receiver at the top of your screen. It's Salazar. It's going to be a toss. They get it to Smith again. Smith doesn't get to the end zone, but does get to the 5. That's a gain of 6 for Smith. And makes it 3rd down and goal for Seguin. We know Seguin can get into the end zone. The question is, how long can it take? As we've almost played a minute in this final period. It's going to be a toss to Smith again. Smith with a lane, gets wrestled down and flips at about the 2-yard line. The 2 or the 3. Very short gain. As looks like there is another Mesquite Stallion down. Looks like it could possibly be a cramp. Not 100% sure, but either way, as he gets treated to, we'll give our sponsors a chance and a message. Back in a minute on the Antler Sports Network. as the injured Stallion gets escorted off the field. North Mesquite's defense trots back on, taking another crack and trying to prevent these Arlington Seguin Cougars from getting into the end zone. 11 minutes, 2 seconds left to go in the fourth. Seguin going to try to take one more crack at it. 4th and goal. Ball is on the 2. Don't know if we'll see a tush push or not. We saw one during the spring game a couple of months ago. Andrews looking back over the sideline to confirm the call. Seguin in their matte gray, dark gray, almost black helmets with the Carolina blue Clemson Tiger paw. Clock rolling now. Andrews under center. Going to be a toss to Smith. Smith gets to the outside. Does he get in? Not too sure. Yes, he does. Touchdown, Seguin. Seguin finally getting the lid off of the jar and getting into the end zone for 6 more. Lead expands. 2-yard run for Smith. As Smith celebrates on the sideline, dancing with his teammates, deservedly so. It took him 4 tries, took a couple of penalties, but it came to fruition. Seguin gets back into the end zone again for 6 more. Looking to kick things off is Lopez. Lopez, PAT, is up and good. With that successful PAT, Seguin scores again and expands their lead. After the Smith touchdown, Seguin still up 42-0. Back after this, from the ASN family of platforms, this is Seguin Cougar High School Football. Fourth quarter, still trucking along in this season opener. 10:01 left to go in the final period. Seguin, right before the break, breaking the plane and getting into the end zone yet again with a 2-yard Jimani Smith rush. It took 3 penalties, an injury timeout, and everything but the kitchen sink, but eventually able to punch through. Looking to boot things off yet again, Oscar Lopez. He's had a pretty busy night. Remember, Postgame will try to get a talk with Seguin head coach Joe Gordon. Also taking a look at the stats with myself and our statistician, Zach Abercrombie. He's done a mighty fine job keeping us updated. And speaking of updated, we have a final score, ladies and gentlemen. Texas Wesleyan has done it. They have upset Lindsey Wilson on the road. Well, at home, that is. Not too far from us in Crowley. Our final, Texas Wesleyan 34, Lindsey Wilson 24. We are back. Kickoff taken at about the 11-yard line. On the reception is Simpson. Simpson still pushing, gets to the 20, and not much farther than that as a flag is thrown late, I believe. There is a Seguin player that has yellow gloves. Don't know if that was a glove, a flag, or what that could have been. No flag, it appears to be. So we are back to business as usual, folks. First down and 10. Ball right on the North Mesquite 20. In terms of scoring, it's been all Seguin to keep it plain and simple. It's been the same since the fourth period began. But North Mesquite looking to change things. From the 20, first down and 10. I mean, yet another run, but immediately stuffed by a host of Seguin Cougars. Almost going nowhere on the keeper is Preston Palacios. Looks like they're going to at least give him 2 yards to make it second down and 8 to go. The only returning leader in any major statistics, that being on offense and defense, is the junior Julian Simpson, who led North Mesquite last year in receiving yards, getting 65.5 receiving yards a game for 40 total receptions, 5 touchdowns, and 16.5 yards per reception. The second out and long run, stopped yet again. Palacios on the keeper once more. Short gain, maybe about a gain of 3 or so. As Palacios trots over to the sideline, they're going to call it indeed a gain of 3. That'll make it 3rd down and 5. .8:25 and counting left to go in this final quarter. North Mesquite in the huddle, talking things over. They now disperse and approach the line of scrimmage on the 25. Stallions, if you're listening on ASN Radio, going from right to left on your respective devices. It's going to be a keeper option. Great keep and pitch to Simpson, but Simpson is going to get to the line of scrimmage and not much farther after that. Taking another look here via our Sports Scope second look. Slow things down here. Seguin snuffed out the initial handoff almost perfectly, but Palacios keeps it, pitches, gets it back out, is not able to get much farther after that. Tackle was made by Seguin's number 95, Gabe Sanchez, the defensive lineman / fullback, the sophomore. That short run, gain of nothing. That'll make it 4th down and 5. Clock still going tirelessly. 2 seconds left on the play clock. Got to get a snap off, and they will not. Looks like North Mesquite will call a timeout. Don't know if they got it off in time. Yes, they did. At North Mesquite talk things over, we'll give our sponsors a chance at a message. Back after this in 30 seconds. On to Seguin, continuing their dominance. Back after this. After the North Mesquite timeout, both teams sitting at 2 timeouts remaining here at Choctaw Stadium. A lot of fans tiring it out here in what has been a very hot evening. North Mesquite punt things off. Ball bounces at the 49, rolling to the 40, still going. North Mesquite trying to egg it on, but it'll eventually be marked down at around the 45-yard line. Last time Seguin had the football, it was a 2-yard touchdown rush to cap off what was an agonizing drive of penalties and being stuck inside of the 5. But eventually Seguin breaking through on the G-Monty Smith rush to give us our current score of 42 to nothing. First down and 10, 6 minutes, 24 seconds left. Ball to be placed at the 36-yard line. Andrews in the gun, clap of the hands, direct snap, rough snap, handoff is given and broken at midfield. With a burst, it's Leandre Bowman Hunt. Hunt at the 20, the 10, 5, goal line, touchdown Seguin. Who would have guessed it? Seguin scores with the rushing attack yet again. First time getting into the contest. And welcome to the game, Mr. Leandre Bowman Hunt, the senior, getting a huge touchdown on senior day. Much of the happiness of the Seguin High Cougars band as their home team expands the lead. Lopez looking for the PAT with 5:59 left to go. Quick substitution here for the Carolina Blue Silver attack. Great snap. No, looks like they're going to fake it early. They muffed it, breaking off to the outside into the end zone. Then another successful two-point conversion. His second of the day, that being Jonathan Polk. As we take another look here, thankfully we have the beauty of instant replay. And yep, just an easy waltz in and score, but now it seems like the officials talking things over. Personal foul is called against North Mesquite. Looks like it will be placed on the kickoff. Either way, our score still stands. Seguin does it again. 50-0. 5:59 left to go. Back in 30 seconds on the Antler Sports Network.
Find your support system. At Texas Wesleyan, you'll get the one-on-one attention you need to succeed. Texas Wesleyan, small classes, big scholarships. Now that's smaller, smarter.
Back after the break. Seguin scoring yet again, making our score 50-0. Plenty of fans here on Senior Day. Fair to say, those guys and gals happy about the way the Seguin Cougars are playing. Before the break, during that two-point conversion attempt, was an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against North Mesquite that is being enforced on this current kickoff. So Lopez, good chance that he could probably boot a field goal out of this, although it probably won't be worth 3 points. At least I guarantee it will not be worth 3 points, sadly enough. He'll be kicking off from North Mesquite 45. Boots this thing. High kick, very high kick. It's going to be hauled in at the one by Simpson. And Simpson gets brought down at the 10-yard line. How about that? Tackle is made by Avon Polk, also a senior, showing out here on Senior Day. The last touchdown that capped off this Seguin drive, ironically, was by another senior. His first time touching the football, Leonte Bowman Hunt, with a big-time run to get into the end zone that gives us our 50-0 score. 5:18 left to go in the fourth. Clock is officially rolling. First down and 10 for North Mesquite. Ball will be placed at the 10. That was a kickoff return by Simpson of about 8 yards or so. As now the Stanley offense trots back to the line of scrimmage. Back at quarterback, Zashawn Cluis. Cluis under center. He's going to throw this one here, but not before he's whacked. Ball might have came loose. Seguin has the football. Waiting on the official ruling. Officials say that it is Seguin ball. So we take another look here. Trying to see exactly when the ball came loose, right as it was thrown. Seguin continuing to make plays on both sides of the ball. As now it looks like it may be Jonathan Polk who will be taking over quarterbacking duties for the rest of this way. After the forced fumble, first down and 10. As previously mentioned, Texas Wesleyan getting the upset win, 45-35 over the ranked 16th ranked NAIA team in the country via their preseason poll. The Blue Raiders of Lindsey Wilson College out of Kentucky, falling in Crowley to Texas Wesleyan. And it is Jonathan Polk will be in at quarterback. Bowman Hunt, the running back. It's a keeper. Polk, head down into the end zone. Touchdown yet again. It's a story that we've pretty much seen all night long. Seguin's rushing attack absolutely dominating on the ground. That 6-yard touchdown run just doing even more to expand the Seguin lead. New kicker in, at least new holder at least. No? Never mind. Thought they were going to have Bakorian Hodge try to boot one through. Instead, it's going to be Lopez. Oscar Lopez, that is, the sophomore. Looking to boot something through once more. Great snap, great hold, kick, line drive, boot through the uprights, and good. It is true. With that PAT and that last run once again by Seguin, the lead expands even more. Back after this, it's 58-0. Seguin Cougar High School football continues on the ASN after this. Fan cam is out and roaming around here at Choctaw Stadium. Fair to say, a lot of happy faces as the Seguin Cougars continue to expand their lead after that last touchdown rush. Got a running clock here, minute 18 left to go in this game. Fair to say this could possibly be the final possession of the contest. Lopez gets a boot into this one. Not as booming as the rest of the case he's had this year as Simpson takes it at around the 12. Gets to the outside, getting to the left, and is eventually brought down at around the 10-yard line. Tackle made by host of Cougars, but the first, I would say, to get there, at least from our angle, I'm going to give it to number 16, Caryell Brown. First down and 10 for North Mesquite. As we have 1 minute and 1 second remaining in this one. Another reminder to stick with us post-game as we'll try to get a word from head coach Joe Gordon, as he is bound to be all smiles in the post-game. Myself and Zach Abercrombie will look over the stats, talk about what we've seen, what we can expect for both these teams this season, and finish things out here at Choctaw Stadium. Another little trivia tidbit for you for North Mesquite. They are home to KEOM 88.5 FM, which is the largest student-led radio station in the United States. So how about that? Run is over to Palacios. Not many yards, if any, on that last run. It'll be second down. Play clock and game clock separated by maybe half a second. It's going to be second down and 9. They're going to give them 1. As both teams look, as we see Seguin looking up at the giant jumbotron right in front of him here at Choctaw Stadium. 15 seconds left. It looks like they might try to run one more play. And they will. 7 seconds left. It's got to be a keeper by Palacios. Seguin says the ball came out. Not too sure either way. You can take the hell out of Lover. This game is over, brother. 58-0, our final score. Seguin dominant on senior day. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll take a look at the scores, stats, and try to maybe even get Coach Joe Gordon. All that and more coming up in the postgame. Seguin dominant on senior day. 58-0. Back after this on the Antler Sports Network.
Find your support system. At Texas Wesleyan, you'll get the one-on-one attention you need to succeed. Texas Wesleyan, small classes, big scholarships. Now that's smaller, smarter.
Final score from Choctaw Stadium. All Seguin, 58-0 over North Mesquite to start the season. How about that, Jared Jones, Zach Abercrombie? Here, the former home of the Texas Rangers, right next to the new home of the Texas Rangers and current home to the Dallas Cowboys, kicking off the 2024 regular season. Seguin starting that off with a bang, to say the least. Still waiting to hear from head coach Joe Gordon. Hopefully we can get a hold of him soon. While we do that, we'll take one more break. Back after this on the Antler Sports Network.
Find your support system. At Texas Wesleyan, you'll get the one-on-one attention you need to succeed. Texas Wesleyan, small classes, big scholarships. Now that's smaller, smarter.
Postgame, Seguin taking the big-time win to open the season, 58-0 over North Mesquite. Jared Jones here up top high here at Choctaw Stadium, talking postgame with Director of Football Ops Coach Jacob Howe. Coach, you were up in the film deck. You had the perfect view of everything. To keep it plain and simple, how do you think your squad looked tonight?
Well, Jared, I don't think it could have been any better. It was a great week one for us. We got to come out and execute on both sides of the ball, special teams as well. Got to work in a lot of people. A lot of people saw some action. I haven't looked at the stat sheet yet, but I'm sure we're going to have a lot of people happy with how they performed tonight. We're
going to have a lot of fans happy, too, here on Senior Day. You have the band coming out on the field, getting recognized. Of course, the football guys getting one last go-around here at Choctaw Stadium. How big of a moment is this for them to not only be able to play in such a unique venue, but to get a big-time win to start the year?
It's huge. It's always huge. Our guys always love coming to this stadium, seeing their faces up on the big screen. You'll catch them in between plays, sneaking a peek at the screen, trying to get a glimpse of themselves. But, they love it. Our coaches love it for them. And it's something that, amazing that AISD does for us.
Now, Coach, that rushing attack, you said it walking back to your camera after the first score of the first quarter. You said they're cooking with Crisco. Are they still cooking now? The stove's still on? Have they closed the kitchen for the night? What do you say?
If it needed to be on, I think it could be, but I think they've turned it off. Let's get them a little bit of rest. But, tonight was a 2, 3, 4, 5-pronged attack. So we had a lot of guys back there, and like I said, we're just happy that we had so many guys that were able to find some success tonight.
Now, finally, Coach, going into this game, you knew that there was a chip on your shoulder. You went 500 and still barely missed on the postseason. You have a chance to do it in a tougher district, in a new district, and now you go next week after this big win on the road against one of the surging, most electric offenses in the state in Red Oak. How does a game like this coincide with an opponent like Red Oak next week?
That's a great question. We're just like to reiterate, we're happy with the way that everyone performed tonight. Both sides of the ball, special teams, in the trenches, in the backfield skill positions. But looking forward to Red Oak. We respect every opponent, but we're not going to fear anybody. They have some great athletes, some great people up in front. But we're going to come out there and we're going to give it our best game.
Well, Coach, if you played anything like you played tonight, I think you got a pretty darn good chance. Pleasure speaking with you.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you.
Fantastic game. Great win, Coach. We'll take a short break, and we'll again try to get head coach Joe Gordon as he's mixing and mingling down at the bottom of Choctaw Stadium below us here, participating in the postgame festivities. Can't really blame him. His team gets a big win here, 58-0 over North Mesquite. 3-minute timeout. After this, our postgame continues.
Find your support system. At Texas Wesleyan, you'll get the one-on-one attention you need to succeed. Texas Wesleyan, small classes, big scholarships. Now that's smaller, smarter.
With us on the postgame via phone, Coach Joe Gordon. Coach, it's senior night. You're in Choctaw Stadium. This is some of these guys' last time ever coming into this unique venue, and you got them out of here with a victory. How was it down there on the sideline? Me and Zach talked about it here. The vibes were immaculate. Can you say the same thing from your point of view?
I tell you what, Jared, it was an amazing evening here. The energy was electric. The crowd was awesome, and the kids played their hearts out. What a way to start the season. Couldn't ask for a better senior night and for a better outcome.
Sure couldn't, Coach, especially with how electric your rushing attack was. Was that the game plan coming into it, just run the ball down their faces and hope for the best, or was it a bit more of a balanced attack? Can you give those secrets out?
Well, I tell you what, the goal is always to score more points than the other team. The way we did that tonight was, really a rushing attack. I felt like going into the game, we wanted to make sure that, we were more than, just the speed on the outside. We've got some good skill, and, they've demonstrated their ability to run routes and catch balls. We want to prove that we can line up and run between the tackles, and I think we're able to do that tonight.
We spoke to Coach Hout right before the break, and we talked about how a game like this and an offensive performance to the magnitude of which you put on can help you go into a week to where you're playing against a Red Oak team on the road that some consider one of the surging and rising teams in the state. So what do you say, Coach? How important is a game like this, is an offensive game like this, and a performance of this caliber go into game planning for your next opponent?
Well, I think, winning a game in general and winning in this fashion, you have to, be mindful that, it's one game at a time. And, what we're able to do tonight is credited to the hard work and preparation throughout the week and, getting ready throughout the summer. What we'll face next week will be a completely different task. And, we'll be ready, for that when time comes. We know that, there's a good football team on the other side of town. And, we're looking forward to the opportunity to that matchup, and we'll get back to business first thing in the morning and give ourselves the best chance we can to be successful.
All right, Coach, we'll let you go after that fantastic win and an even better way to cap off senior night. Take it easy, get you something to eat, some water, cool off, because I know you're sweating harder than a pig down there.
Sir.
So go ahead and get you a second to dry off, Coach. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you, and we appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Coach Joe Gordon in the postgame after his Seguin Cougars take home the dominant victory here at Choctaw, 58-0. We'll take one more break, about a minute longer so, and we'll wrap things up from Arlington. Back after this on the Antler Sports Network. That'll do it from Choctaw Stadium. Arlington Seguin taking the big victory to open up this season and season's greetings, I guess you could say, from all of us of the Antler Sports Network. For Nathan Sunderland helping us out here at Choctaw Stadium and the rest of the Rev Entertainment and Choctaw Stadium crew. For Arlington ISD Athletic Director Eric White. For our executive producer and statistician for tonight, Zach Abercrombie. Justin Jackson and our Houston ASN studio pushing all the right buttons behind the scenes and the rest of the fantastic Antler Sports Network crew. I'm Jared Jones saying good night from Choctaw Stadium. Once again, our final, Seguin 58, North Mesquite nothing. Until tomorrow night from Gladewater, so long everybody.